I pledge allegiance to the earth and all life, the streams and fields, the mountains and seas, the forests and the deserts, the air, the soil, all species and reserves, habitats and environments, one world, one creation, one home, indivisible for all. Affected by pollution everywhere, depleted by any waste, endangered by greedy consumption, degradation by faithlessness, preserved by recycling, conservation, and reverence. The great gift renewed for all generations to come, protected, preserved by reducing, reusing, and recycling. With conservation and reverence, the greatest gift renewed for all generations to come. Now is the time in our service where we pass the offering. This helps support the congregation and all of our presence in the community. The sky is blue, the grass is green, and the light is yellow. The sky is blue, the grass is green, and the light is yellow. Blue sky, green grass, yellow light. Blue sky, green grass, yellow light. Those that know Jill Bailing-Rue have an experience that she is a woman of amazing energy. They know her from her production work and of starting and maintaining River Vibes, for her establishment of the Repair Cafe, from her cooking, hospitality at the Forestburg Playhouse, her entrepreneurial spirit of establishing a catering business, bottling sesame sauce from Jill's Kitchen. You may or may not know that she is a graphic artist and worked for the River Reporter for over a decade on and off, and in my mind just popped the Chatterbox Cafe. But
good egg and good egg. Remember that one?
Oh, the good egg.
I have a long list.
See, the list is endless. I should have just said among others. And now she's establishing herself as a volunteer coordinator for Growing Older Together. So in one sense, she needs no introduction.
And
the Repair Cafe.
And I forgot the good egg, so just
well, there you go.
My favorite,
I'm sure there's other things.
We're gonna try to make this work. Turn this light to get log in.
Oh,
I had closed it because I had to close the screen.
that's for two people.
You can go.
Okay, but okay, you can close them. So
Just gonna close.
no, close that. Now go back to Zoom.
Yes. I just had it was all of this.
Thank you, Karen. I think you're back. Go back to Zoom.
We'll come back. We'll be there in a second, folks. It's connecting. Okay. All right, so now you want to. I know. So, we have to go. You have to be able to see. There it is. Like Natalie's up there. Yeah. Just shoot. Okay. I'm sorry, okay, so now this is session. You don't want to no, just you come on Zoom. Yeah. Patience, folks, sorry. I figured this all out before. I guess unless it's you. Oh, I think I have to go back to my email and join, but I'm right there. No. Oh, yeah, you are here, but this. Try this. We had this figured out.
It came up before, Jill.
I know, that's why we're having a problem now, because it's not coming up now. Can you see, is that showing up for you guys? No.
No.
We need a teenage testimony. Is it those? They're not going to sentence. She was friends. Best friends. So. In a 12-year-old kind of way.
I'm gonna go back to the email and rejoin now.
Especially.
You're in.
I know I'm in, but I can't share it, so I'm gonna just go back to where I started earlier, where we got it working.
You know, this. It's a mystery, but. Oh, no. The cops. I'm just, that's one of this kid, blah, blah, blah. We're not.
Which camp? Let me play with it.
Now.
Yep, it says you started screen sharing.
Okay, there we
There you
go.
go.
There we go.
Shoot. I'll talk a little bit about the Repair Cafe, and I have a bunch of slides I'll go through and photos and so on. You know, so when we first started, this was the Repair Cafe concept arose in 2009 in the Netherlands and was formulated by a woman named Martine Postma. At the time, an Amsterdam-based journalist publicist. In 2010, she started the Repair Cafe Foundation, and this foundation provides support to local groups around the world wishing to start their own repair cafe, and it supports the Tusten Repair Cafe. Move you guys to get my arrows. Worldwide right now, you can see the numbers there. There are 3,695 repair cafes, estimated number of volunteers, 55,000 plus. and items repaired per month, 66,000.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. If you look at this map is available on the repaircafe.org/en, so you get it in English, site. And you can click on it. This shows all, you can see there's over 3,000 of these repair cafes just in the Netherlands. The United States, New York has, and vicinity has 178. It's interesting because with the Hudson Valley Repair Cafe organization, we have a leader, and she is amazing. And when I started the Repair Cafe here, there were only 20 in the greater Hudson Valley, and now there are over 70. And that's basically from New York City up to Albany, and as far. Can you guys hear me?
Laurel.
Laurel can't hear me. Okay, Laurel can't hear me. Okay.
Can they go on Zoom? Ask her.
But Laurel couldn't, so I have a big mouth. I thought everybody could hear me.
Okay now? Lovely.
Okay. So, so we get a calendar, monthly. This is an older one, so that we can see where else people are. We don't want to get to that yet. But anyway, so yeah, there are now over 70 in the area. There are 3 in Sullivan County. They're all there. I mean, they're everywhere. If you go on this map, you can zoom in, or you talk to somebody about it in another state. Zoom in. You can tell them where their repair cafe is, or they can go on, or they can start one. They're easy to start, and especially if you are, if you're a local person to an area and you know people. It's easy. Now, the way I got involved was my friend Elizabeth Knight. She lived in Callicoon. Her husband had worked for me when I had the catering business, and we became very good friends. And they left here and moved to Warwick for health reasons. And so she then learned about the Repair Cafe when she moved to Warwick. And she called me and said, Jill, this is right up your alley. And she knew, because she knew me, and she was right. And so for me, it was easy to get this started because, again, I'm local. I know a lot of people, so I just made some phone calls. And if you know people who can do things, and so we have people that do mechanical work, electrical work, woodworking, jewelry. Tamara is, one of our jewelry people. She's not here today. I hope she's okay. I'll have to check on her. We have folks that work on computers sometimes. We have somebody that does screening. Cecilia Kawachi does screening. We have people that sew. Sue Powell, Jim Powell is mechanical, electrical, knitting, crocheting. It's amazing. The person who works on bicycles and also stringed instruments. So it's really, really incredible the amount of outpouring of volunteers. And the volunteers also love to do it. Because, it's a community spirit. We're keeping things out of the landfill. One of the things we're introducing, which will start this next one, is not just fixing them, but at the end of each, we're going to keep a list of the weight of each item to see how many pounds we have kept out of the landfill. So that's starting with this next one. I've already reached out for a decent scale. So we've got that going for us. Hair dryers, lamps, toasters. The 2 number 1 things that people get fixed are lamps and vacuum cleaners. But 99% of the vacuum cleaners are clogged. Seriously, But people don't know how to pull their vacuum cleaners apart, So, we always trying to do that. Puts neighbors in touch with each other. And it's a really good community organization around the world, obviously. And it really is around the world. If you go back to this map, you can see, look at down by Argentina and Chile and in Australia. They're out. We're out there. It's so wonderful. I'm such a bad speaker. I'm sorry. By promoting repairs, Repair Cafe Tusten wants to help reduce mountains of waste. We throw away piles of stuff in the U.S., worldwide, but especially here. Even things that have practically nothing wrong with them, and which could easily be used again after a simple repair. We also ask folks when they get their repairs,
to sit and watch the repair. Because sometimes it's something that if that happens again, if you have sat with them, you know how to fix it when you're home. So that's something we really encourage. A lot of people, they want to wander and visit. It is what it is. But it's a really good thing to learn skills like that. My cousin Ann just said to me the other day when we were out for a walk, she said, my husband is always fixing everything. I don't know how to fix anything. So she just bought something and she said, I hid it so that when it had to be assembled, I was going to do it and follow these directions because she never had to do any of that. But what happens if something happened to her husband? So, but repairing, fixing, setting up, it just all makes sense in the world in general. So I'll go through a bunch of slides. Let me see if I have any notes that I forgot to talk about already. We always have coffee and some snack for folks that are, especially the volunteers. We ask for donations. We also raise money each time we don't make donations to the Narrowsburg Ecumenical Food Pantry. That's one of our folks because we get donations. Yes, we need some money for things, but we generally get more donations that we need, so we send it off to people that need help. So I'm just going to just show you a bunch of slides that you can see all of the kinds of things that are done. So this is Bruce Bidwell, and he's a woodworker, but looks like he's fixing something other than wood in that one. I can't tell. April, and fixing another. And this woman is learning how to fix her and work on her sewing machine. It's funny because a lot of people have sewing machines and they don't know how to use them, or they have something wrong. And it's not the mechanical, electrical guys that know how to fix those sewing machines. It's the women who sew. And they are amazing. They are amazing. Here's the woodworker guys fixing an incredible table. Oh, and there's one coming up in a little bit. And everybody brings their own tools and everything they need, and they also all work together. The guys mechanical, electrical. Do you have this? Do you have that? But everybody brings it. Everybody that's there. 90% of the people that volunteer are retired. These folks are not in business. There are a couple people, Tamara is a jeweler. She makes things for other people, but she's wonderfully helpful in fixing, and I do worry about her right now. Here's Sue Powell sewing something. Yeah, you'll see other pictures of, they're not in quite the order I'd like because, the numbers, but they work so hard on fixing stuff. This is our mechanical electrical table. I'm pointing to that. Right all the way here, people waiting in line for the next one. And, everybody's social. Here's our woodworkers back here. That's an old picture. That woman's up there. Sue has all the right equipment. Look at the size of this iron she has, and a pad that, so when she's fixing something and needs to work on that, she can iron it to do it right. And look at this wonderful old sewing machine that April brings. Yeah. Okay, but Ray hasn't been there in a while, but he one of our mechanical electrical, fixing a vacuum cleaner. Here's the toaster and a fan. Our woodworkers. Here's Bruce working on somebody's laptop. He comes when he can, and he's pretty good at that computer help. I'll tell you what, I've sent my computer back to his house and he's worked on it. So he's a very kind man. Lives in Barryville, or Shahola actually. Yeah, here's Barry, another vacuum cleaner. What a surprise. Sue doing some more fixing. And I love this. Never take broken for an answer. Really, seriously. My house, Tom knows, I'll fix anything if I can. And I'm learning, it's funny, my cousin Ann talked about her husband. I said, but I have not, I had a lot of years when I was alone and I learned to fix a lot of things and make things work as best we can. The whole thing about Repair Cafe is if you can carry it in, we will do our best to fix it. So here's somebody's, I think this was a dehumidifier. Hey, another vacuum, and it's fixed. Get this out of the way. And I had it. Here's Paul. He's fixing one of the tables in the town hall because it was not working right. So he just went at it. He's like, yeah, I'm done with this. I'll make this work. Sorry, some of these were smaller. So Here we go. April fixing a quilt. This is a lamp. This woman had had it for years. They will rewire. We have wires so that things can be rewired, and that's often the problem with old lamps or upgrading them to a 3-prong from a 2.
Can't fix ugly though.
It's a matter of taste.
And Angela had brought in this piece of fabric or something that she needed to be fixed. And when she fixed it, there was extra fabric. So the women didn't just throw away this other piece of fabric. They made her a towel, a scarf, you know? So,
Great.
yeah. April can do anything. She knits, she sews, she crochets, she does everything. So April is one of those that if one of our sewers can't show up, she'll bring her sewing machine. If you know, she's like, what do I bring this time? Here's another toaster. You know, one of the things is that things that don't get fixed generally are things that are made of plastic.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can't get into them, you know, so it's a really tough thing, you know. So, but they still try, you know, but things that are made of plastic just are not fixable. Yeah, here's a meat grinder. So we get all sorts of things. Somebody's desk drawer. Screening. The thing about a screening, you bring a screen. The screen, it's the frame, the screen itself that you need to put in because there's lots of different screens. And the spline. The spline is the rope that holds the screen into the frame. And they're made different sizes because it's that's something you have to bring. She always has some, but not necessarily what you need for your screen. We're fixing another drawer or the same one maybe. Look at that, a weed whacker. And this is Tamara's hands, I can tell. Fixing somebody's jewelry. And Jenny Snedeker fixing somebody's blanket. And I'll show you, I have pictures of before and after. Here's a before, and there we have after.
And that's Marianne Carletta.
Yeah, yep. So this person had these 2 lamps and he had them forever. And they both were able to be fixed, and boy, was he happy. Jim Powell, who has been one of our mainstays since the very beginning, fixing Tamara's radio. And he'll get that going. He's not available this next one. They're going to be in Iceland. Bicycles. So Chris is there most times. He can't be here this next time. So we're at 7 that can't. So I think it's, you know, presently the schedule is that it's going to be September 13th, but I think it's going to be changed to like October 18th or something like that because a lot of people are not available this time. It's what it is. I just need to know so I can either advertise it or change it. More woodworking, screening. Hi, Cecilia. Star Hesse comes all the time, most times. And she is a gardener extraordinaire, and you can bring plants for her to diagnose stuff. She will teach you things. You can ask her questions about your garden. Last year or a year and a half ago, at the end of the season, I had all the plants from hanging outside, and I had no place to put them inside. So we brought them in, and she found people to take them home, and just we share it all. Yeah, but she's so knowledgeable, and she's the person, one of the people from Narrowsburg Beautification, who takes care of the gardens in front of the post office. You know how gorgeous they are? Yeah. So her knowledge is very vast. I don't remember what this was, but it got fixed. That I do remember. Any clue on anybody? No.
Go back one. Maybe I can see what that is. Well, first of
Well,
all,
what does it say on that piece of paper?
what does it say on a piece? I can't read it.
Yeah, I can't either.
But it's fixed. But I can't make it out. I'm sorry.
Anyway, it's fixed.
Connection of whatever. Anyway, it got fixed. That I do recall. Another hole and fixed. Yep, fixed.
Wow, nice.
Toaster. This person was happy. His piece got fixed. He had another piece that'll come in. You'll see that in a little bit. That's pretty amazing. Working on bicycles. Somebody's little statue of a critter. And these guys, they always are working together. Bruce and Rich and Rich. And it's funny too because sometimes always the mechanical electrical are the busiest, no question. But everybody comes even if they're quiet because they like to visit their friends. And one of the things with the Repair Cafe too is you bring in something, you're new to the area, you haven't met anybody, you come in, you bring something, you work with people, and you're meeting a whole bunch of people you never met before, and you gain a community immediately. If it can't be reduced, reused, repaired, rebuilt, refurbished, refinished, resold, recycled, or composted, it should be restricted, redesigned, and removed from production. Yay, Pete Seeger. Yay. Uh-huh.
That's good.
Yep, here's another sweater that needed help. Well, it's fixed, but sorry about that picture. Okay, so this guy, that gentleman who had that other music stand a little while ago, they brought in this guy. And I have to tell you that this team, they were like surgeons putting it back together.
Wow.
All of them working together, and they did it. I mean, he left with it all wrapped up, like it kind of looked like a mummy because it was all glued and he couldn't unwrap it until the glue dried. But he was so happy to have this statue that he had. I don't know how it broke, but he was so happy to have it back. Mechanical, electrical, as always, busy. There they are. Look at them. They're all holding it together, wrapping it up, Yeah. This was one of my friend Heather's favorite sweaters ever. And she was so disappointed that it had ripped. Her daughter had borrowed it. And look at that. The people that are here, they really know their stuff, and they are really good at fixing anything. So we'll just talk about this for a moment, The Repair Revolution. This is a book written this is my friend Elizabeth Knight, who turned me on to The Repair Cafe, and John Wackman, who was the co-author and coordinator of Repair Cafe in wherever it was, Hudson Valley. He sadly passed away a couple of years ago, but they had written this book, The Repair Revolution. I have flyers here, and I can send it to anybody who wants to get this book about the Repair Revolution, and there's flyers for you all to take here. And it's an amazing book to teach you how to do it and teach people how to get started in a repair cafe. And they just so knowledgeable, and yeah, they work together well. Two wonderful, wonderful people. John is missed. He's been up here. He came to our repair cafe. He came and stayed at our house and about 4 or 5 years ago. Might have been before COVID. I started this, I think this is 8 years now, maybe. Something like that. It was before COVID. And during COVID, Jim Powell was one of the best guys for this, and other people helped too. People still had things that needed to be fixed, right? So they'd ask, can somebody do this? Da, 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 da. Somebody would call me. So I would reach out, mostly to Jim, because he's the closest also, to see if he could fix something. And they would drop it off on my porch, fill out the paperwork. Jim would come to my front porch and pick it up and take it home and fix it and bring it back to my front porch. I'd let the person know. And so it kept going during COVID, in a limited way, but we kept it going. April, yep, during COVID, here we are. It's amazing what everybody can do. This is Hetty Schaefer from Honesdale. She does jewelry sometimes. This time we have 2 jewelers, but we don't have any woodworkers yet. And there's Star with some of those plants. And she gives away. She also brings things and gives things away to everybody. Teamwork. Our lovely Jane Luxinger. Joe. I'm sorry, not Joe. I know his name and I'm drawing a blank. join the movement. This was a while ago. This is the basic kind of look of our flyers that if you look around, see that it will always have this logo. I'm going to redesign them now that I got I have Adobe back, Lori, so I'm a very happy camper. That's from thanks to Kathy Geary. So we advertise what we have, what we can do. And another fix. People are so happy when they bring their broken items and they take them home again, not broken. So here's one that had a lot of holes. Look at that. How many holes in that? I mean, it doesn't look gorgeous, but that owner of that shirt, that sweater, is a very happy camper. The moths were actually
Very good, the repairs.
yeah, absolutely. Another one on bicycles. Where do you see Paul's shirt? Oh my gosh. There it goes. That's what I do. I fix stuff and I know how. It's just I know. I don't know. I can't read what the last words are, not know how, but yeah, one of our regulars. They love doing this. As I say, we take donations for the food pantry, food donations, and monetary donations. Recycle, refuse, reduce, reuse, repair, regift, recover, etc. Rethink. Be mindful of what you're buying. You know, I try very hard not to buy anything plastic. You can't help it, but you do. You know, we can only do what we can. Another hat. This was a beautiful necklace that I think it was Tamara that fixed that. Liz Huntington fixes jewelry as well. One thing we do ask is whatever you bring, it should be clean.
Yes.
You know, I know the vacuums are a different little story, but you know, because they get clogged and people don't know how to take care of them. But your clothing that needs to be sewn, etc. You know, fans, clean it up before you bring it in. Please. Here's one of our teams.
Wow.
Yeah, we've taken pictures of a couple of them. This is Mitra and Chris, and Ray, Bruce, Rich, Jim, Jenny, Paul. Tommy Kawachi's always there. He was Connie used to help at the desk and she doesn't. This is Jane back here. Elaine, Monica, Sue, Star. I can't see who that is. Somebody's back here. Oh, Iris used to help out too. You know, and this young man, this is Sue from the Chi Hive, her son, and he used to sharpen knives. We haven't gotten anybody to sharpen knives again, but I will share with you though that if you need knives sharpened, you can take your knives over to R3 Hardware in Honesdale. There's a company called Rendina. They're up in Pleasant Mount, and they have a knife sharpening business. It's owned by friends of Evans the parents of that he went to high school with. And if you drop it off at R3 Hardware, they get it up to Rendina, or Rendina comes down, and they sharpen them and bring them back there the following week. So you can always get your knives sharpened. Getting somebody to do it has been challenging. Whoa, hello. Got to go back because that's important. Yeah. Not fixing of another chair. And this frame is what brought Tom and I together. This frame fell off with this picture of he holding his sister, and he reached out to me. I think it was a Facebook or email, and asked if they could fix something like that. And so not something that they no welding or anything like that at the repair cafe, but Jim took it home, and then I brought it back to Tom, and we sat and talked for hours, and now we're married. So, you know.
Repairs hearts too.
Yep. Yeah, this was in the beginning. This was one of our first repair cafes, right in the beginning. Yeah. We've been doing it a long time. That's the last slide. We try to do it quarterly. Doesn't always work that way. It depends on availability, ours and other people's. I do want to start getting it out there for the year, and so that everybody has enough time to organize, but I'll get back to that. But we had one in the spring, and now it could be, as I say, it could be September 13th. Otherwise, it'll be middle of October. Anybody have any questions? Yep, okay, hands up. Steve.
Well, it's not a question, is that I had, a few years ago, I went to one of the first repair cafes, and I brought along, 2 shortwave radios, and well, the only thing that needed was a little spray of electrical contact cleaner, but It did wonders. I mean, the fact that, I thought I would have to either take these to a specialized repair shop or maybe even just junk them and just get new ones, but they brought it back to life.
And sometimes it's as easy as that.
Yeah.
They look at it and somebody's, again, and we had somebody last time with, I don't remember what it was, but all it needed was a little bit of spray of something to loosen it up. That's all it needed for some kind of switch, whatever it was. Nan?
About the coffee pot that you repaired.
Did we repair that? I don't remember.
You took it home?
Took it home and cleaned it. That's all I did. It's funny, at Forestburg last week, a couple weeks ago, a woman was out making coffee, and that's the front of the house. They take care of that, and they're making the coffee. And this woman who I don't know, they go help. She's like, "It's not making coffee. The coffee's not very good." And I said, when she was done, I went over to it and I looked at it and I took it apart, and they hadn't cleaned it. They had not cleaned the coffee machine, taken off the little drip thing, and the top of it was all filled with coffee grounds and so on. I cleaned it up. It worked just fine. It's amazing what cleanings can do for things, So anybody online? Okay, Nan?
Do you have to rent the place or they?
No, the town of Tusten gives us the space for those 3 hours or the morning of. It's always on a Saturday. Now it's from 10 to 1. It used to be 11 to 3, but that took up the whole day, And the last hour on those kind of days is always very quiet. So we just moved it earlier, so we all got done earlier in the day. But yeah, they gave us the space to do that.
Jill, where is it?
Downstairs under the Tustin Theater in the town hall.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they had it downstairs at the theater.
They did. Well, it used to be where the seniors met. It was a place that got rented out. That hasn't happened. The kitchen is not workable at this point in time, so it's used for things like this. And Tustin Social uses it for the kids, for their artwork and so on and so forth. So
Very good.
mhm. Yes, Tom.
I know here in Sullivan, we've got Tustin and Hurleyville and Livingston Manor. What's across the river? And I know, again, that there are not as many in Pennsylvania, but what's the nearest one in Pennsylvania that you know of?
To my knowledge, at this point, the whole state of Pennsylvania has 2.
Oh,
So there's nothing close.
nothing close? Okay.
To the
Come on
whole
over.
state of Pennsylvania. And that's just, I can't bring up, I could go to the website and I can open it and click on. You can literally go on the website, go to the map, click and get in, zoom in, click into wherever.
If you live in Pennsylvania, can you go to the?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can come from anywhere. I don't care if you come for 2 hours. If we can help you, bring it on. Yeah. Not limited to just Tustin people or at all, As long as you can carry it in, or if you're older and it's small enough, but we will help you, bring something in, but don't try to bring your washing machine, okay?
Or anything that runs on a liquid fuel, like a gasoline.
Right, no gas power, no fuel, and nothing that's called smart, because we can't yet get into those things because, we're not licensed to do that yet.
And they're made of plastic.
Anybody else? Well, thank you all for listening, and I do have information about the Repair Cafe Repair Revolution book that you're welcome to take home with you, and Tom can put it out with a link to if you're interested in getting the book. And I love doing this. I'm a person who is all about all of those things: recycle, reuse. Everything I'm wearing is from the Salvation Army, so except my shoes. Anyway, so thank you all.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Jill.
very good. Very good.
Fabulous. Great concept.
Yes.
Yes, really.
Long overdue.
Yes, thank you, Jill.
You're welcome.
So our closing words: love our earth. Take action to consume less, use less energy, respect water, and be cooperative, collaborative, and creative community. Like the moss and the mushrooms, our children's lives depend on us, all of our lives. depend on us. For our closing song, it's I Am the Strand. So the words are, I am rooted to the earth. I'm connected to the sky. I am the strand in between. I am rooted to the earth. I am rooted to the earth, connected to the sky. I'm connected to the sky. I am the strand. I am the strand in between. In between. One more time. I'm rooted to the earth. I'm connected to the sky. I am the strand in between. I'm rooted to the earth. I'm connected to the sky. I am the strand in between. I am the strand in between. So we'll extinguish our chalice. Changes abound us, around us, within us, between us, in our communities, our neighborhoods, and our beloved faith communities. Change abounds. May we each find the balance point we need as we move through our ever-changing world. The balance between the old and the new, between the known and the unknown, between the familiar and the perhaps bold and risky possibilities that may be there for us. Wait.
Okay. Thank you, Lori.
You're welcome. Thank you all for your attendance. Thank you, Jill, again.
Thank you.
It's always lovely when you can breathe new life into things, for sure.
Uh-huh.